are you waiting for to take that job, to get out of the toxic relationship, to fight for pay parity, to own property, to create an investment portfolio, and for a seat at the table? Whose permission are you waiting for? So ladies, it's 2025, and I believe that we are still biased against ourselves. It's not just the system, it's us too. And we've heard about being accountable. We need to be accountable for our role in our own disempowerment. And what do I mean by that? We've had generations of conditioning that has caused us to question ourselves, to doubt ourselves, and to devalue ourselves. And in so doing, we keep looking outside ourselves for permission, for validation, and for affirmation. And what that does is it keeps us small. It keeps us trapped in a victim mindset. And when you are in a victim mindset, nothing happens. You don't take action. So what is the missing link in what I'm talking about today? Because we can have the best attitude, we can change the way we view the world, but we have to take action. And the one thing we have not done is used our money to change the bigger story. And money and wealth does not have to be noisy and flashy and militant. But money is the way we can reshape our empowerment story. So I'm going to share a whole lot of my experience around money and mindset shifts and what changed my life with you this morning. Because I think it's very important to have a human story to get a wake-up call. So my wake-up call, that came the year I turned 50. I'm now 58. That was just a couple of weeks ago. I have my Leo twin, Shadi Chowki, sitting over there. Shadi, you stood up just now. We're both born on the 25th of July. But my wake-up call came at the age of 50. That year, 2017, was an incredible year of celebration. I turned 50, my mum turned 70, my dad turned 80, my eldest son graduated from university, and my youngest son was matriculating. What a year! Until it wasn't. So on the 18th of November 2017, my family and I were victims of an armed home invasion that took place just about 7 kilometers from here. And in that armed home invasion, my husband, Simon, took a single shot to the heart. He was murdered. It took exactly 6 minutes from the time the intruders entered our home to the time they left. And time was divided into 2 parts, before this and after this, and nothing would ever be the same again. Simon and I had been together for 28 years. We'd been married for 26 years. We lived in the same home for 23 years. We were Mr. and Mrs. Consistency. And we had these 2 beautiful boys, Ryan and Matthew, who were 22 and 18 at the time of our attack. 1,000 moments that I took for granted, mostly because I assumed there would be 1,000 more. So I was not left a filthy rich widow. There was a lot of collateral damage, mental, emotional, and physical, as a result of my husband's murder, as you can imagine. But there was also an incredible amount of collateral beauty. And by that I mean possibilities and opportunities that appeared in spite of or despite my husband's death. And one of those things was really my financial awakening. Because I actually had to go back to work. I was not left a filthy rich widow. We had small life insurance policies on each other. These were not wealth creation instruments. They were risk protection instruments. They were there to give us enough time to take a breath and get up again. So I had to go back to work. I needed to reposition myself, rebrand myself, because now I was a single mum, a widow, and the sole breadwinner. I needed to double my income, chop chop. My husband left a very small pension, and as I said, a very small life insurance policy. So my financial awakening was really about my worth. I needed to embrace what I was worth in order to earn more and to earn what I was worth.
Thank you.
And this is a very important statement. So I'm going to share with you some common traps that I experience, that I'm sure that you experience on a regular basis yourselves. Because me, I'm just one of you. And we all experience these things. So some of the common money traps. Because I was married, my husband had a salary. In fact, our salaries were almost identical, except he was employed. I was an entrepreneur running my own business, which meant I got to write off a whole lot of stuff for tax. But I needed to double my income. Because we were married, and because of my generation, this was the second salary. Anybody in this room earning the second salary? It's just a mindset. And because it was a second salary, I was not fighting to be paid what my male colleagues were being paid. I was being paid between 50 and 50% less than my male-speaking colleagues, even though I was just as good. I was always negotiable. Any client could ask me for a discount because I was just the second salary. I wasn't holding on to my worth. I did not have any wealth creation investments of my own. Our investment strategy was deeply flawed. If there's money left over at the end of the month, we'll invest it. Well, ladies, you know there's never money left at the end of the month. There's always more months left at the end of your money. Especially if you are raising children. And of course, because maths was my Achilles heel at school. Money's complicated because it's about numbers. Anybody else didn't like maths in the room? Right, most of us probably. Okay. But what I've discovered post my husband's death, because I've made it my business, is that money is not complicated. And building wealth is not complicated. So, right, an immediate disclaimer. Firstly, I'm not a financial advisor. Secondly, whatever I tell you from here on in is not financial advice. Go speak to a financial advisor about that. Thirdly, it is my lived experience. And fourthly, I am pro-men. So, but a man is not a plan. Ladies, 80% of men will die married, and 80% of women will die alone. So, your man is probably going to die before you, or he's going to get ill, or you're going to get divorced, or he's got another lady with children outside of your marriage. This is the reality. So you need your own financial plan. I did not have my own financial plan before my husband died. So choice freedom for me is the ultimate wealth creation strategy. Financial freedom is a number. Choice freedom is a runway. And building choice freedom through wealth creation enables you to make the decisions you want to or need to make whenever you want to or need to make them. And this is the freedom most women do not have. So my vision is choice freedom. I'm not a granny or a gogo yet, but I have a number. I have a game plan 2027, which is huge. Nobody knows what my number is except me. And when I hit that number, it means when my kids have my grandchildren, God willing, that I will be able to choose when to work and when to look after my grandchildren. So how are you creating better outcomes from your income? Because everybody sitting in this room right now is earning an income. Whether it's 20,000 Rand or 250,000 Rand a month, it doesn't matter. But how are you going to create better outcomes intentionally because you have a plan? So I believe we need to stack the deck in our favor. Number one, you need a financial plan. Number two, if you don't have a financial advisor or someone who knows more about money than you do, find one. Word of mouth will get you the best one. You need a will. I'm not going to harp on this point. We're going to get to it in our fireside chat shortly. You need to commit to paying your future self because you are worthy. Ladies, buy the share, not the handbag. That Gucci or Prada handbag that you paid 20 or 40,000 Rand for is not going to love you when you're 75, and it's not going to feed you. But the shares will, because of compounding, the magic of compounding. So, you need two streams of income. The one you go out to work for, and then you take some of that every month and you put it to work for you in investment vehicles. And it sweats while you are working. This is the thing I never ever understood properly before my husband died. But I do now, and I've got multiple streams of income. And you need to practice the discipline of the debit order. This was the secret that my financial advisor taught me. It's not if there's money left over. It's money you pay up front towards your future self. And the peace of mind you get is phenomenal. It makes you feel worthy. So, those two streams of income, if you don't have them, you can set them up very, very quickly in a matter of 15 minutes online. You need to back yourself. Stop being apologetic. Go and read your emails. Ladies, read your emails and other women's emails and look how often we apologize for what we charge or how we're going to do the job. A man does not apologize. He says, this is my price. Don't take the first offer on the table. I got great advice about this, especially if you're climbing into C-suite. Don't take the first offer, go back and negotiate. There's always more. Don't discount yourself. As I said, I stopped discounting myself. I put my big girl panties on when I was busy fighting for pennies when I was wrapping up my husband's estate. About 18 months after I'd wrapped up his estate, I was battle-hardened through the bureaucratic nightmare of wrapping up his estate. And I was invited to a blue-chip corporate to talk about what they would like to book me for. It was a 10-stop speaker roadshow. For any speaker, male or female, 10 stops, that's a big deal. And I was brought in, good power play, 5 people on that side of the boardroom table, me on the other side. They said what they wanted. Would I like to go back to my office and send them a proposal? What would it cost? I'd already raised my fee before I walked into the room. And I said, I can tell you exactly what it's going to cost. I put the number on the table. They were floored. It's a bulk deal. Can we get a discount? I said, you know what? And I don't know where this came from, ladies. I said, my husband and I have paid you premiums for 26 years for this and this and this and this, and never once did we ask you for a discount. And if we had, I don't think you would have given it. So no, there is no discount.
Wow.
It was a moment in my empowerment journey. I got the deal. It was over R1 million. It was my first 7-figure deal, and it got renewed the following year. So ladies, you don't have to be 100% ready. Men will sit at a table, put up their hand if they're 65% ready. You need to make yourself supportable and keep growing yourself professionally and personally. And please ring your own bell. Don't wait for other people to ring it for you. So the disruption queen in me is saying right now, I hope I have made you think a little differently about your money and wealth creation. The talent whisperer and the strategic leadership coach in me is saying, yes, you can. Into every one of your ears, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
And you really can, because I have done it. And it's not that difficult, and I'm going to retire just fine.
Wow.
So on that note, whose permission are you waiting for? I'm going to ask you to stand up, find a woman next to you or behind you, and look each other in the eye, and I want you to say to each other, the only permission I need is my own. Be upstanding.
Okay. Let's do 3.
Yeah.